What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, we're doing another Tleyds VOD review because, I mean, like I talked about in the last video, he just dropped the bomb on like a 2.4 AV, just an absolute monster of a performance across the entire stream. And I wanted to watch this game because I think it's actually a really cool idea from Tleyds, and just shows how really good players optimize every little thing in TFT. So we're in Ambessa portal here. We start off with a pretty crazy wandering dummy here. We have Rebel +1, we have Dominator +1, and we have Scrap +1. You can see actually our opening board is fantastic here because we pick up the Trundle 2, we pick up the set that, you know, pairs up there with Bruiser and then gets us Rebel with the Vex. So, I mean, a fantastic start, honestly, from Tleyds. But I want to talk about his augment selection, first augment here, because I think this is just such a smart idea from Tleyds. So, you know, I'm pausing it here, give you guys a second. The option that we want to take is actually already available here, and I think is so smart here. I wonder if Tleyds even rolls his other options here. He probably does, but he's looking at it. He might not even, yeah, he might not even reroll the other options, because I think this might be the best possible. Okay, he does reroll his other options, but now we take beggars can be choosers. I mean, I love this idea, and it just, this is, you know, this happens a lot in TFT in kind of like smaller ways, but I think it makes perfect sense here to take beggars can be choosers here. The idea is, we started the game with a Rebel +1. And a Scrap +1, actually. Both of these are emblems where if we get another emblem, we can just win the game for free. So, you know, obviously Rebel, there is 10 Rebel, but the nice thing about having it on your Wandering Trainer is that you can just win the game on level 9 by getting 10 Rebel on level 9. And then, like, similarly for Scrap, you can play for 9 Scrap, and you can get that even on level 8 if you just get one more Scrap +1. So this take from him, beggars can be choosers, I'm pretty sure Tleyds averages like a 2 from this spot. Obviously, we are in this Wandering Trainers like dummy portal, so other people have the opportunity to high roll stuff as well. But as long as we don't giga low roll, because we're gonna have so many augment options, all we have to find is Rebel +1 or Scrap +1, or even like Trait Tracker's another option, is something that can get us there, and it's gonna be easier to proc because we have this dummy. Like from here, I would say averages like a 2. You know, you can't just say he averages a 1 because there is other, you know, random stuff that could happen there, but the spot is disgusting. We also picked up a ton of early upgrades here, so we can play this 4 Scrap board. 4 Scrap, really nice early, and fits beautifully with the Dominator here, with the Ziggs, and then we're also holding on to Rebel with the idea of, you know, we can play this on level up and play Rebel. He wants to hold on to the Rebel units because the only way that you can lose with 10 Rebel, or I mean, it's pretty hard to lose with 10 Rebel, though I'm pretty sure someone in the Tacticians Cup did actually, or the Tacticians, the Golden Spatula, I'm pretty sure someone did lose with it because they hit, I didn't actually see the clip. Does anyone, I'm sure somebody has the clip. Interesting that we even sell off Ziggs pair here, just saying like we prioritize econ over everything, but it makes sense with the idea that we just need to make it to level 9. You know, if we get Rebel +1, and we get, you know, if we get Scrap +1, we just need to make it to level 8 and then hit everything that we need. Obviously the Jinx is the hard thing, and Rebel and the pew man, the Rumble, is the hard part in Scrap. The interesting thing as well is, like, we kind of want to keep our options open. We want to hold all the little low-cost Rebels and Scraps here, because if we make it to, you know, level 8, level 9, that's the other really scary thing, is if you aren't prepared for this, like, win-out situation. Also, check this out from Maki Kuwana here, also has beggars can be choosers, so that's why it's not a guaranteed first, because that person can also hit 10 Rebel, and then we might have a 10 Rebel battle at the end, or, you know, if we get 9 Scrap and they get 10 Rebel will usually beat that. But I mean, once again, it is possible to lose in those situations. But you got to hold the low costs because you need to be able to get to the high costs later, and then also be able to fit in the low costs. Make sure, you know, to get to 10 Rebel, you need every single Rebel unit. So if you're missing an Irelia or a Vex and you make it to the end of the game, you are going to feel quite foolish. But yeah, just prioritizing econ basically over everything here, because we know that you know, the difference between a Ziggs 1 and a Ziggs 2 is not going to drastically impact our game plan. The big thing is going to be, you know, if we can actually get to all this other stuff. And yeah, I'm pretty surprised he doesn't even hold. Yeah, okay, I like Ziggs over Set here. Yeah, I think, because I do think Ziggs is going to be a more consequential upgrade than Set here. And we want to make sure that we have both Scrap and, we need Scrap and Rebel in going into Augment here. I mean, you could even like cut something like Ziggs and like Bruiser just to like try to tailor for it even harder. We're on a 2 streak. I wonder if you would do that, because you do have so many refreshes that you want the highest odds possible. I wonder if Tleyds is going to like full, if you guys remember like hero augment set where you would cut units in a spot like this to tailor harder. Looks like he is just going to chill on this board and say like, you know, the idea of like cutting Bruiser or Dominator here is not going to make a huge difference in what we are going to end up hitting here. And, you know, tailoring works kind of like that way, but not as much. Also, what is this spot for Maki Kuwana? He already has a Zoe and an Alawi, huh? How is this allowed? What? And, you know, this is the person with the Rebel +1. All right. Moment of truth here, and Tleyds just praying to Mortog here that he can pick up what he needs in this spot. Nothing so far here. You want to keep your best option open. I guess that's like support cash, but you also want to roll as many times as possible here. So like once you see Golemify, and I mean, there it is. There's Rebel Crest here. He's going to roll a bit just in case there's some other out here, but boom. That is it. At 3-2, we have not guaranteed, because there is still a battle that we have to fight this game, which is the battle of making it to level 9. We have to make it to level 9, and you can see, right, we're going to slam all of these items here, just make as many slams as possible. These are actually fantastic damage item slams here. A little bit awkward that we have like no tank items made at this point, but you know, it's okay. We'll get there, but we need to make it to level 9 here. 58 gold, level 6 though. This is why we're prioritizing Econ so highly, is we have to make it to level 9 and find 1 Jinx. It's not too hard, but it is, you know, there are situations where it doesn't happen. We pick up the Zoe here, and we are actually, yeah, I was gonna say, we can't just play 7 Rebel. I mean, we should probably play something. I wonder, yeah, okay, we're gonna fit Trundle here. So I guess he's of the opinion that a 7 Rebel Zoe is stronger than a Ziggs 2 with Dominator, because I was wondering if Ziggs 2 would just be stronger as a 2-star unit, but I guess his answer is no. Like, these items are so good onto Zoe. Zoe's a beast. Ziggs has been nerfed pretty decently from, you like, remember, like, middle of the set when the Ziggs unit was just so disgusting that you would go, like, fast 9 off Ziggs 2. Looks like Tleyds just doesn't like Ziggs that much anymore. But yeah, the other person, that wasn't a Rebel Crest, I thought. I thought that was Paint the Town blue. It looked like just a Rebel, maybe it was a Rebel Crest on that other player. I mean, I would be excited to see a double, you know, 10 Rebel fight at the end. I think that would be really fun. So hopefully that's what this game ends up being. And there's other people that can hit stuff, right? There's, you know, things like the Prismatic Enforcer trait. There's stuff like 9 Scrap, which, you know, I don't think is really going to get you there, but, you know, maybe it could. I don't see a ton of +1s as we scroll through the rest of the lobby. Yeah, and stuff like 7 Enforcer is really just, or not 7 Enforcer, 7 Experiment here is really, I mean, it's just not going to have the cap. The only way I think you can beat stuff like this is maybe with like 3-star 4 cost, 3-star 5 cost, definitely. If you guys actually didn't watch the finals of Project Mentor, which was really fun to watch. And also, I don't think the sign-up links are out yet, but I am going to be doing Project Mentor next set. If you guys don't know, that's Kai's kind of, it's a mentorship program where you can sign up under any, you know, I'm in it. There are a lot of other really high elo players who have like been to the World Championships before in it, and you get to basically like sign up under them for an entire set mentorship program, which is really fun. It's also got multiple tournaments in there. Like I said, signups aren't out yet, but I'll definitely just keep your eyes peeled. I'll definitely like post something to my maybe like YouTube. I'll definitely shout it out in a video and definitely talk about it later. It's a really cool program, and I brought that up and then sidetracked myself. But I brought that up to say, yeah, that's Paint the Town blue. So that's not actually a Rebel +1. I mean, this person's gonna have 8 Pit Fighter, but I mean, 8 Pit Fighter versus 10 Rebel. I mean, ain't no way. But I bring that up because the person who actually won Project Mentor, the kind of like grand finals of it, the final, ooh, a dupe is not bad at all to end up picking up like a Zoe 2. We're gonna move the Gwynsu over here, and then the Shojin's gonna stay on the Ez. Shojin obviously is going to go onto Jinx later, and so the Gwynsu is the preferred item onto the Zoe here. Okay, I will finish my point finally without sidetracking myself. What I was going to say is that the person who ended up winning Project Mentor at the end was Learning TFT, and he won with a 2 Rebel. He got a Wandering Trainer, and then he got a Rebel +1, and won with that. And we were a little bit rooting for somebody to hit like a 3-star 5 cost to try to beat that, but I mean, I think that's really the only out here. All right, augment-wise, I mean, you'd love econ here. You would love like an invested in this spot here just because you need to make it to 9 with as much gold as possible. And if you do that, you're going to win the game. Aside from something like invested, you just want strongest combat here. I don't know. Piercing Lotus seems like fine, I guess. But yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, yeah, and Tleyds goes for it. I mean, it's just so gross, but I really do feel like the second we took Beggars Can Be Choosers, I mean, you're basically guaranteed to get some kind of econ augment here, and we pick up invested. We have all this. Ooh, okay. That is a Rebel +1 from Makikuana here. So we might have a 10 Rebel fight to finish off this game here. All right. At least this makes things a little interesting. That person also had a Zoe too, it looked like. So that person is going to pretty easily coast to level 9. Very likely with, like an 8 Rebel board here. And Tleyds is obviously going to take some damage here. The game, this game is actually going to get a little spicy here because obviously we're going to make it to level 9. We're going to take some damage getting there. And honestly, if the other person hits 10 Rebel as well, we could end up in a world where like if we're 10 Rebel but we take a big loss and they win, what if we take like 2 big losses because we want to just guarantee that we can hit it? Then we're like 20 HP and this person is 40 HP. Then we run into a world here where like they can fight us and then end up bringing us down to like 10 HP and then, we could lose to something else. Yeah, huge loss here from Tleyds. Yeah, you have to level next round. There's no way we can sack 2 here. There is a spat there, which I guess is something that you could take to just kind of like guarantee the 10 Rebel, but I don't think you even really need it. But probably just good to take just to guarantee that you don't low roll here. We end up just taking 5 cost here. It's LeBlanc, also a great unit to fit in on this board. We do have LeBlanc too if we want it, but highest priority here is finding that Jinx. We also are missing on Alawi right now, right? So now we have the Alawi, just need to find Jinx. There is Jinx, and as early as 4-5, we have 10 Rebel on this board. So we're guaranteed essentially probably I would say like probably a top 2 guaranteed at this point. It's going to be very hard to lose any fights with the 10 Rebel board, even though we basically have no upgrades at this point. But I'm curious what we want Anomaly wise. I feel like you'd probably just want like tank Anomaly. I think this is perfect. Yeah, Deep Roots here. Just because like the only way you're going to lose is if they blow up your board before you get a few Rebel stuns off. But if you play for a longer fight, you are guaranteed here. The Echo is also kind of funny because you get Scrap in on this board as well, which is fun. The Shojin is going to move over to the Jink at this point. It's interesting that Tleyds is actually rolling so aggressively here because like normally in this spot you'd be like, well, I'm just chilling. I'm guaranteed to win every fight. But this is a high cap lobby. We know that other player wants to play for 10 Rebel. And so like if we end up accidentally fighting, I don't know who we would ever lose to though, is my thought. Like the rest of this stage, I feel like we could have just econed up, but maybe there's someone in this lobby that Tleyds is afraid of losing to. I don't know who it would be. But obviously if we do lose a fight, then we're basically 1 life. And if the other 10 Rebel player ends up capping out a little bit higher than us, hitting something crazy, they don't have a prismatic econ augment. Like they should actually cap a little bit higher than us, but obviously they don't have the prismatic econ augment, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for them to get to Jinx. Yeah, honestly, I want Tleyds to just sit on that board there. I wish I had my my VOD checker tool here, but I didn't record this game off that. But I wish I had that tool here. And yeah, we're just rolling down. I wonder if the other thing that Tleyds is doing here is trying to roll down to try to take a Jinx out of the pool. Like if he can find a Jinx here, that I wonder if that's the thinking, is that like if we can find another Jinx that is like another way to stop that person from hitting 10 Rebel, and like if we can deny them Jinxes, they're only 27 HP. If they don't hit it very soon, they could actually die. And look, down to 14 HP. They probably didn't. They probably did not just lose with 10 Rebel here. So yeah, we're not rolling here this round though. We're just holding on to all of our stuff here. A lot of upgrades still left to find here. Kind of interesting that we stopped rolling here just after all of that rolling before. But all right, we'll see. Fighting a Black Rose player who does have 7 Black Rose. Once again, a prismatic trait versus one of these really strong traits. It's just 2 different like levels of power. It just doesn't exist. This person did win 7 Rebel there. They were still only 7 Rebels, so surely they hadn't hit yet. I didn't get to see that much. We're checking out some cool boards here. What is the Anomaly? Oh, Slow Cooker Triple Warmogs Garen. Okay, that is a pretty sick setup there, though. Obviously we don't have to worry about that, but we can just watch it on honestly, I just want to watch this board just bowl through everybody because it's just so fun to see 10 Rebel do its thing, stun the board a million times, do a million damage, and look at that Makikuana ends up going down here, didn't end up finding the 10 Rebel. So you can see, right? I said, I think Tleyds, averaged a 2 from his first augment. That other player had a pretty similar spot, but just wasn't able to find 10 Rebel. So yeah, it's pretty sad here. All right, looking at items here, just trying to take a check and see like how good is blue buff onto Jinx. And the answer is like pretty good. I don't think, like I said, it's really gonna matter at this point. There is basically no one left in this lobby that can beat Tleyds. The only person who or like the only idea that is scary, like I said, is that 3-star 5 cost idea, and maybe some kind of crazy 3-star 4. I don't know if even a 3-star 4 cost would beat this. I will say. Also, ooh, honestly, that slow cooker Garen got kind of close. If he had just had a little bit more time to cook, we actually could have lost that. But hey, we're gonna roll down here, pick up the Alawi 2. That is maybe the last train, and especially now that we have the Jinx 2, this is probably the last train for somebody to beat us, aside from, like I said, the 3-star 5 cost idea, which is anyone in the economy spot. The thing is, like, you want to play for a 3-star 5 cost if you want to win out versus like Tleyds here, but most people, pretty much everyone, does not have the luxury of playing for a 3-star 5 cost because all these people are just fighting for their lives, right? Anybody could actually go fourth in this lobby, even this Bunny Fufu alt account person. If you just rotate into Tleyds and then Tleyds Ghost, you can just die straight up. And so everybody, like, no one has the luxury of being able to say, okay, I'm going to econ up and try to win out the lobby because there's a 10 Rebel in this lobby. I have to roll down and be as strong as possible, because if I fight Tleyds and I'm not my strongest as possible and I kill, 1 or 2 less units, that could be the difference. Or maybe I fight one of the other people in the lobby and I end up, not winning the fight when I could have won it had I rolled down for like a 2-star 4 cost upgrade or something like that. I don't know why I'm looking. I mean, Hodge is good. You have Ambusher in here, and he is actually going to move items over completely. Reforge the blue buff here. Oh, and he runs into a Renance here. Wow, great. And so yeah, just prioritizing getting the best items over onto the Jinx here. And I mean, the Hodge, very solid onto the Zoe as well. She has spell crit as well. I mean, oh, look at that, actually. That's 3-star 4 cost. That is 3-star Heimerdinger. So that is that answers the question of a 3-star 4 cost if he can win the fight. I mean, honestly, it was surprisingly close. Maybe something else could have got there. This person said, can you FF please? I need it. And then Tleyds said, need it for what, man? And he said, I haven't won a scrim in 3 days. I don't know. Does anyone know who Bunny Fufu alt account is, actually? I'm not sure who that is, because if they're scrimming, it must be someone who's like going to Worlds. I don't actually know who that is. Duckbill. Who uses the Duckbill? I'm not sure who that is. Interesting. Well, if anyone has the info, the inside info, let me know. But I mean, Tleyds has the inside info that he is going to win this game because, I mean, there's nothing left. There is nothing left. It is just a free win from this spot. And yeah, I mean, it all goes back to our silver augment take. I think this is what TFT is all about, is seeing those high rolls, because a lot of high elo players would see this, but I know there are a lot of players who would have missed it. And so that's something that I want to show off in this VOD. If you get this kind of setup with beggars can be choosers, insta take that, because I mean, you can see it on your screen right now. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Metafy, my Twitch, all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks as always for watching.